What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And yes, indeed, this is where we at. You clearly see the title of the broadcast. So, yes, it has popped off in Mexico. And, one of the major cartel leaders has been basically, taken off the map. Hey, I'm not shedding no tears. But all I'm saying is, though, is at this point, we have a lot of Americans that are still basically trapped in Mexico, things like that. And also, too, from what I, you know, gathered and stuff like that from news reports and things like that, that also, too, that America did provide some type of intelligence to help Mexico, kind of obtain this guy. So we're going to go here now. We're going to check this out, see what's going on. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
This morning, millions on edge across Mexico after a military operation killed one of the country's most notorious cartel bosses. Criminal groups responding with mass vandalism and violence. The State Department urging U.S. citizens across several Mexican states to continue sheltering in place this morning from Tijuana to Puerto Vallarta. Officials say Sunday's military raid killed more than 30 cartel members, including the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho. Video verified by ABC News showing parts of that operation, followed by a barrage of gunfire and blasts. Tourists say the violence erupted Sunday morning without warning.
Their goal was clearly to block all main roads in Puerto Vallarta, and clearly it wasn't to kill people because they easily could have killed all of us.
Yoni Pizer says he was vacationing with his husband and friends in Puerto Vallarta when their car was attacked by an armed man.
And he got to the car, pointed at my head, and through the window said, "Get out of the car." And all of us exited the vehicle. And at that point, he got in the car and drove it just a few yards into the intersection, and then threw an incendiary device in it, which exploded, and the car was quickly engulfed in flames.
Now, the White House has confirmed the U.S. provided intelligence to Mexican officials, but now sources tell ABC News the CIA was instrumental in removing El Mencho, but no American troops were on the ground for the operation. George?
Okay, so, obviously the CIA went in, things like that, but what a lot of people don't understand is the CIA it's kind of its own entity. A lot of Americans don't understand that. CIA is supposed to be our thing, but if you understand mafia tactics, it's our thing. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here. But yeah, though, the CIA is kind of its own out the way stuff. But listen, look, so we're gonna keep going here because there's always more. We're gonna check out some stuff and see what people are having to say about being basically trapped in Mexico. Let's go here now.
Cartel violence is rocking the nation of Mexico right now. This week, military forces there killed the country's most powerful drug lord, known as El Mencho. Mexican officials say more than 70 people have died in the aftermath, including security officers, suspected cartel members, and civilians. No Americans have been injured or killed. We know that from the White House press secretary. The State Department says hundreds of Americans trapped inside Mexico have called the emergency helpline. Some are sharing their stories.
We're in lockdown. We can't leave the hotel. If you do leave, you have to sign a waiver. Anything you do beyond that point is on you, basically.
We were hungry yesterday. We had no food yesterday. Nothing was open. It was a terrifying day yesterday. My daughter saw the cartel light a car on fire right in front of us.
Wow. And I guarantee you that's probably something that her and her daughter had never seen a day in their life. Never seen. And for the other gentleman, from what he said about if he leaves his hotel, well, technically, if he leaves the protection of that hotel, they make him sign a waiver saying that whatever you need to, whatever you're going to do after this point is on you. And that's the protection of whatever hotel that he's staying in, a resort, whatever. And I get it from the resort standpoint. Like, if you decide to go ahead on and leave and go out there, we can't, protect you no more like that. And I understand that. And for some of these Americans that are technically trapped down there, I guarantee you they've never seen this type of violence a day in their life. This type of, cartel movement. Because, this is not how it goes down in America. People, we don't just, have individuals that are blowing up cars every day and stuff like this en masse. It's just not happening like this. Not en masse every day. Jesus Christ. This is a whole cartel situation, dude. And they're blowing up cars in different cities at the same time simultaneously. This is wild right here.
There was fire all around us. It was terrifying.
Jonathan Hunt with the latest. Jonathan.
Harris, with many Americans still stuck in Mexico, the advice from security experts for those planning to travel, including tens of thousands of college kids planning spring break there in Mexico, the advice very simple: don't do it.
It is extremely dangerous right now. It is completely way too volatile. So I advise anybody who's got children who may be going to Mexico for spring break, reconvene. Hey, take the loss because and the money. It is not worth it. It's not worth your child's life.
And many students are taking that advice, watching the violence unfold and changing their plans as a result.
All of our friends got these awesome deals to go to Puerto Vallarta, and I mean, obviously it's the worst right now, definitely the most sketch, and so they're all canceling it.
I have all my hometown friends from Boulder were booked a trip to Puerto Vallarta through Just College, and it just got canceled. And then we have friends who were supposed to go to PV with their boyfriends, and it all got canceled. And so now everyone's kind of scrambling what to do last minute and trying to get a refund.
Travel advisors say anyone thinking of canceling plans should act as quickly as possible.
Spring break packages are sold differently than most travel. I always advise people to have travel insurance just in case stuff like this occurs. But if you don't have that, I suggest you call your company right now, or if you booked it independently, airlines, hotels, they should allow you some type of emergency cancellation.
And security experts warn Harris that even if it gets quieter in the next few days, the violence could explode at any time in the next few months, given that so many gangs might now be competing to try to fill the void left by the killing of El Mencho. Harris?
Jonathan Hunt, thank you very much. And a reminder, atop our Faulkner focus.
And this is where we at right here. Yes, definitely I agree with what the last dude just said. Listen, look, people, it's going to be a power grab right now. Mexico is not going to be able to be a tourist destination for at least the next 15, 20 years. So they clear all that shit up. Let's just give it a good range. 15 to 20 years. Sorry, people, but y'all not going to be able to go back to Mexico till they really get this shit cleared up here. Because it's going to be a power grab. You already see how it's going. You already see how it's going. The factions that he had under his control and stuff like that, they're already blocking off streets. They're doing things that they need to do in order to maintain the dominance in that country, due to the fact that the president, decided to, invade El Mencho and get him up out of there. So they cut off the head, but it's still other little minions that want to try to, make moves and stuff like that. And I get it. With a big organization like that, even if you cut off the head, it's still it's like a Hydra. And if you don't know the history of Hydra, the Greek situation, stuff like that, you cut off one head, two grow back, things like that. So, yeah. This is kind of where they at down there in Mexico right now. It's always somebody in lineup to take over the head of the situation. And that's the battle that's going to be going on right now down in Mexico. So, the president of Mexico, she's going to have to clear that up, make sure that she executes a plan to get rid of the rest of the factions in that situation. And until then, Mexico is not going to be a tourist destination for no time soon. So y'all can cancel Mexico. All these, destinations that Mexico has, tourist situation. Y'all can cancel Mexico right now, at least for the next 20 years. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.